Importance of the components contained in food. Our food aims to facilitate growth, strength, and heat. It also offers material to restore the constant wastage that originates within our bodies. Every breath, emotion, and action we carry out exhausts some portion of our body. Within our bodies, various essential processes eliminate worn-out and obsolete particles. Elements supplied via the medium of food and beverage are gathered and continuously applied to ensure the body's well-being with tissue repair tools. Because of the diverse complexity of the body's multiple tissues, several components need to be used for nourishment and supplied sufficiently. Thus, to achieve the expected health result, the different food elements need to be consumed suitably. Food components. Digestible food elements fall into three groups, primarily based on their chemical structure. Carbonaceous group. Carbon is essential since it is the base of all the other body elements. Components that are part of this group are starch. Starch is present in all grains and is predominant in most vegetables and some fruits. Corn, potatoes, and cassava are chemical processed for starch extraction. Sugar. Nature provides us with a range of sources to obtain sugar, such as sugarcane, maple tree sap, sugar beets, fruits, honey, and milk sugar, which is one of the milk components. Glucose is a synthetic sugar similar to grape sugar. The production method of glucose is by subjecting the starch from corn or potatoes to a chemical procedure. However, it loses the sweetness and is by no means a suitable replacement for naturally occurring sugars. Fats. Both animal and vegetable foods contain fats. The most notable examples of animal fats are butter, meat fats, and suet. In vegetable form, fat is plentiful in beans, nuts, peas, various grains, and a few fruits, such as olives. Fat is often present in small subdivisions. It is supplied naturally in fruits, grains, milk, nuts, and legumes, and it is best suited for digestion. We usually consume fats in the form of free fats such as butter and lard, making digestion itself troublesome and disrupting the process of other food-provided elements. To be used as an independent food product, fats are being altered from their natural form and isolated from other food components. The same is true of the other carbonaceous members, sugar and starch, none of which alone can support life. Still, when naturally combined with other food elements, they play a leading role in our body's diet. Nitrogenous group. Nitrogen is a crucial ingredient for any cell's survival. All albuminous components, which is a protein, makes up this group. Albuminous. Albumin is present in its purest, uncombined form in the white of an egg, since it is almost entirely made up of albumin. It is rich in oatmeal, some grains, and vegetable juices. Albumin is also found in both animal and vegetable foods in combination with other food components. Natural foods possess components similar to albumin in specific ways, and so strongly associated with it that they are generally labeled under the collective name albumin for simplicity. The top component of this group is gluten, present in wheat, rye, and barley. This group also includes casein, which is present in beans, peas, fibrin, and milk. Inorganic group. The mineral components are part of this group. For the development of living organisms, minerals are crucial. Minerals. Many foods contain a proportion of the mineral components. These components are abundantly provided in grains, shellfish, and milk. Examples of indigestible components are the cellulose of vegetables or wood tissue, and the wheat bran, which cannot be turned into blood tissue, and play a significant role in supplying the food with bulk. No food component, except for gluten, can sustain life if they are used individually. An actual food item includes some of the food components, which vary in different types of food. Functions of the food components. Studies by leading physiologists have found that 3 functions in the human body are played by the carbonaceous elements, which typically create the bulk of the food. 1. They supply resources for heat production. 2. When taken with other food components, they are a source of strength. 3. They filled up fatty body tissues. Fats produce a more incredible amount of heat concerning quantities among carbonaceous components, that is to say, more heat is produced by a pound of fat than by the equivalent weight of sugar or starch. This apparent benefit is more than offset because digesting fats is much more problematic than other carbonaceous elements. It will be capable of overtaxation and digestive disorder if reliance is placed upon it for bodily heat. Nature provides us with a much broader supply of starch and sugars than fats in our natural diet. This may suggest that they were meant to be the primary source of carbonaceous nutrition. Nonetheless, fats are essential and significant food elements when taken to the degree that nature supplies them. Nitrogen food elements boost the brain, nerves, muscles, and the body's most highly invigorated and functional tissues, and act as a catalyst for tissue modification. Therefore, a nutritional deficit in these elements is an unhealthy food. Phosphate, the inorganic group leader, helps to provide our nerves and bones with supporting resources in potash, lime, and soda carbonates. The right food combinations. Animal and human studies demonstrate that it is vital that our diet includes some of the different food components. The nitrogenous and carbonaceous group components need to be used in certain amounts. The organism can only tolerate a specific amount of each. Any excessive food components in our body is of no use and harmful. This is especially true for nitrogenous components. It puts additional pressure on the excretory and digestive organs to remove the body's system's surplus. To make the food completely in line and satisfy the system's criteria, a relative amount of 6 carbonaceous to 1 nitrogenous needs to be supplied to the body. Scientists have researched and experimented very closely to establish the amounts of each food component essential for people's everyday nutrition under various living conditions. It was concluded and widely agreed that nitrogenous constituents should represent 1/6 of the ingested nutrients. A healthy adult of medium weight will only use around 3 ounces within 24 hours doing a modest amount of work. Several food products are deficient in single or multiple components. This deficiency in elements must be compensated abundantly by other products that contain it. Even if a diet lacks some of the nutrients, it may be tolerated by the digestive organs in bulk. It is potentially malnutrition, and adverse health effects can occur throughout time. The quality and combination of food should be very closely considered. This is particularly important for housekeepers and cooks since they are responsible for selecting food for their household's everyday needs. Food handlers must apply this education to recognize how food can be combined, following physiological specifications rather than which foods are best matched to fulfill those criteria.